on the line with me, we have a former TNA superstar. He's going to be making an appearance at Great North Wrestling Star Stampede. He is Wes Brisco. Wes, how are you doing, my man?
Good, doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and hey, we're super happy to have you on.
Oh, I'm super excited. I can't wait to be back in Canada.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's actually go straight into Star Stampede. Going into Canada, what do you expect in your upcoming matchup at Star Stampede?
What the people can expect is going to be a good old-fashioned fight, good old classic wrestling match, good old competition.
Mm-hmm. And going back to Great North Wrestling, what made you decide that you wanted to wrestle for Great North Wrestling?
Well, first of all, for the great people of Canada, I mean, I just want to be out there and enjoy the beautiful countryside. And I'm just really looking forward to it. They have just such a great group of talent and guys, and I've seen the show and the productions of the shows, and I'm ready to go down there and tear down the house.
Mm-hmm. And you are scheduled for a 2 out of 3 falls match with Nathan Banner, and Banner also has some experience in Japan wrestling for Pro Wrestling 01. Sorry. And so how much do you expect those different styles of you working in Japan and him working in Japan really meshing in your 2 out of 3 falls match there?
I think it's going to be really good, and I'm not going to lie to you. I've already been scouting my opponents. I always scout my opponents before I be able to work them, and I think we're really gonna tear down the house.
Mm-hmm. Awesome stuff. Talking about your time with TNA, so how did that come about with you joining TNA?
Well, it all I got released from FCW, WWE's developmental, and then I moved to Puerto Rico, and I was wrestling in Puerto Rico for Carlos Colon, and I got the call to become a part of this group called the Aces and Eights, and it looked like a really great opportunity for me, so I jumped on it, and it ended up being one of the best times of my life, and getting to have a crew of guys that were truly my best friends, and we truly all hung out together, partied together. We were a great group of guys.
Mm-hmm. And so how did they approach you with that Aces and Eights storyline?
They kind of just gave me a call. They said that I had the look that they were looking for. They said they were looking for kind of a guy that looked like the guy from Jax from Sons of Anarchy. And they said that I really fit the picture, you know, a nice, good-looking kid, in shape, you know, young. And they thought that, you know, I'd be really appealing to be like the young, you know, kind of like if the storyline was supposed to go on farther, I was supposed to be the big baby face out of the whole group, but it kind of all got jumbled up.
Mm-hmm. And is that what the idea when they put you with Kurt Angle as part of your debut earlier on before the gut check program as well?
Yes, that was all just part of the big storyline of, you know, it was all planned out. We had a huge storyline all planned out for it. So, you know, we got to, it was awesome being a part of it to see, you know, a storyline develop from, you know, me just coming in and then me finally getting a match for gut check and then me finally turning on him and then me finally having that steel cage pay-per-view match with him, which was one of the greatest matches of my career, getting to be locked in a steel cage with Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist. I mean, can't do any better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go further into that. How much was Kurt willing to work with you to help you, as you could say, get over in TNA and try and help elevate you into a bigger star?
Kurt he knew I was there to bust my ass. He knew I didn't want anything given to me, so he really took a liking to me. And I've actually known Kurt for a while because back when I used to amateur wrestle, he used to be one of my coaches. He used to come down and do amateur wrestling coaches. So I've actually known Kurt since I was a little boy. And so he was, you know, I was tied to his hip, and that was the best experience of my life, getting to wrestle him on house shows, every different, you know, type of venue. I got to wrestle Kurt Angle and really get to learn from him. And I mean, he beat my ass. Don't, you know, there's one night he gave me like 7 Germans in a row. I was like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, exactly. We all know Kurt is one of the more intense wrestlers out on the scene. Even still now, you see him just being probably one of the most intense wrestlers we've seen in the ring. And continuing on that, after Aces and Eights, did they tell you what sort of storyline they wanted to work with for you after Aces and Eights?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be where our group would break up, and one group of us would be baby faces and one group would be heels, and I would be part of the baby faces.
Mm-hmm. So kind of similar to that NWO back in WCW when they split off from the Wolfpack and the Black and White?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what just came out of that? They just did plans just fall through? Did creative not have anything afterwards? What just happened after that?
TNA let go of the two main creative people that were in charge of the Aces and Eights, and when they let the two people go, the new person in charge didn't want anything that they had, so they scratched it, which we were one of the hottest, we were pretty hot in TNA at the time.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the Aces and Eights storyline itself, many people have different thoughts towards it. What were your general thoughts about that storyline and how it handled out for you?
It panned out really good for me because I got the opportunity to wrestle a great group of guys, be on TV every single night, and just have a great group of friends that we actually all hung out together. We all traveled together. We all shared the same locker room together. We were just like a big family, and that was awesome. I wish it would have lasted longer, but, things happen.
Mm-hmm. And so how did it come about where TNA announced that you were released from your contract, and how much of, I guess you could say, notice did they say, hey, we're probably going to release you from your contract?
We were both kind of on the same page. They were offering me to renew me with some stuff that I didn't like, and I just didn't. I just felt like it was my time to go.
Mm-hmm. And
I just didn't feel like there was really nothing more for me. I felt like the company was starting to really go downhill, and I just was like, I think it's best off if I can part ways.
Mm-hmm.
And part ways in a good way. So.
Yeah. And and we're hearing a whole bunch of stuff now about TNA and their whole situation. Does it really surprise you at all, the situation they eventually have become right now, or is it something that's you kind of foresaw when you left the company?
I mean, I saw it when I was there. Even when I was there, when we were doing good, I saw it. Mm-hmm. Just people, just bad management, just don't know how to, run a company properly.
Mm-hmm. And how would you describe then your relationship with Dixie Carter in TNA?
I mean, she was always nice, and I was always nice to her. She was,
mm-hmm.
she was always a good person.
Mm-hmm. Would you say she was?
I really have nothing bad to say about anybody.
Okay. So afterwards, after the Aces and Eights, you moved on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And what were your goals when you entered into New Japan?
My goals was just to get over there and have fun and bust my ass. That was one of the greatest experiences of my life, getting to go over there. And I did 3 tours over there, which was really, really good. Mm-hmm. It was. I love that style of wrestling. I love the hard hitting, the intensity, the long matches. I really enjoy that style of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And who would you say is probably, out of all the competitors in Japan, a lot of people, when they go over to Japan, they have that one competitor that they really mesh well with. Was there that guy in Japan that you really meshed well with when you wrestled him?
I kind of meshed well with everyone there because I kind of had their kind of similar style of background of amateur wrestling and martial arts. I kind of already had that background, so I pretty much meshed well with everyone. Mm-hmm. And it was one of the best times ever. I love it over there in Japan. Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of the greatest. For a wrestler, if you don't get to work Japan, you try to get out there because it's a mecca for wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And coming after Japan, you've been working on the independent scene. Recently, you've been wrestling for Paragon Pro Wrestling. And how would you describe your experience there so far, being able to work with Jesse Sorensen as well, who's also a TNA alumni?
Paragon's been really good. We have a really good group of talent, from Jesse to Caleb to Gangrel, Alex Chamberlain, Matt Stryker's behind the scenes. You know, we got D'Lo Brown behind the scenes, Sid Bodie behind the scenes. You know, there's a good group of people out there, and I really love wrestling for Paragon. And right now, me and Jesse are the tag team champs, and me and him really mesh well together. We're like best friends, so we're out there just killing it.
Mm-hmm. And where do you see Paragon going in the future? We've already seen that they've got a TV deal to work with. Where do you see Paragon growing into as you stay longer with that company?
Well, you know, there's talks about getting TV over in Europe, and then, you know, hopefully we'll start getting on a better channel. You know, that's all what we need, is just get on a better channel so more eyes can see the product. More eyes that can see the product know that, you know, even from the vignettes to all the backgrounds, everything is done really, really well for Paragon. Like, everything's done, you know, top notch. And that's a big thanks to Jared and the production, because they really bust their ass out there.
Mm-hmm. And moving forward with your career, you've already been with WWE as part of their FCW developmental territory. Do you see yourself being able to get back in WWE and possibly working NXT?
Yes, I mean, that's the main goal. I just got back from, I spent a month and a half over in Europe from the U wrestling over there. And I'm going actually back out to Europe in January. But there's talks of me hopefully being back in WWE really, really soon.
I'll see you at Star Stampede this upcoming Saturday, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, looking forward to it.